The following is a special presentation of Tony Curry Radio. From hot dogs to cool kitties, this is Darkside of the Pooch.
Welcome back to Darkside the Pooch. He's taking a big drink because he's going to eat it. We're going to get into all kinds of talk here in Darkside the Pooch. The 208-0301 is our phone number. It is the Rossbridge Animal Hospital, Rossbridge Vet, rossbridgevet.com. Check them out on their website, of course, wherever you get your Facebook thing. His name's Dr. Rab Stewart. Doc, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm good, man. We are not unlike other professions and other people. And sometimes people need vacations. And so I'm just coming off my associate being gone for a week for a vacation / conference. She parlayed her conference into a vacation, and she is back today. And,
nice.
Man, when you have a 2-doctor practice and it goes down to a 1 doctor,
yeah,
you work pretty quick and pretty hard.
And it ain't like it's not like you can go to Southern Precision Staffing or something, or find just like dial a doc or something. You can't find a vet that's like just wanting to work a couple extra hours. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, not usually. I mean, you can sometimes do it, but not very readily. You got to get lucky.
So this life doesn't happen, and there's no coincidences. But I do a lot of stuff with the Kip Kiefer. We do our TV show, which, by the way, I still want to get you on an ABC 3340. Your open invitation anytime you want to come on. And the Porch Creek Indians just bought the Birmingham Racecourse, which they didn't even realize was for sale, but it was owned by the McGregor family for 40 years. And so we had the COO on the show this past week. And I asked him, okay, so what properties do you now have? And so they have 3 properties, Atmore and the other one down in southern Alabama, and now the Birmingham track. And then they have properties in Caicos. They have property in Aruba. They have property in the Bahamas. And I'm going, wait, you have property what now? And I was like, we travel. We could do shows. He's like, bro, anytime you want to do a show from one of our resorts in Aruba or something like that, we'd love to have you. Just get down there and we'll take care of everything. And I was like, this is the great thing about doing podcasts is I can set this thing up at the beach. I can do anywhere. I mean, you've done shows, from your car. And I was like, wait a minute. I said, he's like, yeah, bring the kids down to Aruba and we'll set you up for a week. We'll put you up at a resort. You want to pay for anything? Food's taken care of, all you get, and just do your show from down there. And I was like, man.
Can we do our show from down there?
Yeah, well, yeah. And my mind started racing because I kept thinking, damn kids, if I didn't have those kids, I could
you could stay down there.
Those kids, I could just be doing a remote from a different Porch Creek Indian location every week. But yeah, so that's one of those things. So I when you said your associate was tying work in with a and I love that. It's great. Where was the resort? Where did she have to go for this conference? Las Vegas?
Destin. They're all over the place.
Okay, well, it's close. Yeah, Destin's great. So if you're going to be in Destin, hell yeah, you spend an extra couple of days down there and you get out there. So it's great. It's great to see you. Some interesting things I've been looking up today. I always try to find something that perhaps you and I have never spoken about. And believe it or not, I found something. By the way,
it's hard to believe
I was watching,
that we've never spoken about something.
Do you know who Jeremy Wade is?
No.
Jeremy Wade is on the Discovery Channel. He has all these fishing shows, River Monsters. He's a show called River
that's that guy. Okay.
Yeah. He has a show right now that's airing, and they're all kind of the same thing, but he's just trying to catch a different type of animal, but there's always some type of spooky kind of feeling behind it. They're like animals, these fishes eating human beings and giant catfishes and Loch Ness and this, that, and the other. And so he's got a show out right now called Dark Waters with Jeremy Wade.
Okay.
I found it, and it's something that's run like 3 or 4 years ago, and so there were like 8 of them. So I was like I hit a new series, like 8 new shows, right? And so he goes down to Brazil, and then starts working his way up South America, and comes back around, and there's all these alligators that are being killed, and they can't figure out why. And I'm talking 16, 17 footers. They fly over this huge pond and they're just belly up and they're done. They're dead. And they're trying to figure out what's going on. And normally, when something like this happens, you think of an apex predator or something larger that is actually taking them over. Do you know what's killing them?
I'm gonna guess that it's not an apex predator, but it's something very, very small, like
It's
maybe
something
even
we
some type
talked
of
about last week.
something like some bacteria or
Let's
something.
go with the cane toad.
Oh my gosh, the
Yeah, the cane
toad.
toad. I was like, cane toads, and you start
They're
talking about cane
toxic. Are
toads.
they
Yeah.
eating them?
The alligators eat them, and they're dead within 15 minutes.
Oh, it's
So
crazy.
if anyone's man, and they did this whole thing on the cane toad. This thing, by the way, is about the size of my head. Um, the glands are right behind its ears, so you have to catch it by its legs because if you get it on your hands as a human, you can get really really sick. So
Yeah.
you have to grab them by the back legs, and I mean stretched out. These things are 3 4 feet long, and in 2016 2017 they were moving at an average rate of about a mile a year, and now they're traveling anywhere between 60 and 70 miles a year as they make their way because they have thousands of babies. And I mean, this is going to be like a major issue. And so they were because,
Where did we say that these things were in Texas? Aren't
um,
they in the United States
yeah,
now?
yeah, that's what we were talking about dogs because dogs are getting a hold of them, and they're killing animals. And I mean, this is like worse than a poisonous snake. This thing is not. And you think of toads, they're cute, they're funny, and they make
Are
weird.
they cute?
Oh my gosh. And I was like, wow. And I mean, Jeremy Wade is a guy who hangs out with stingrays and sharks, everything else. He didn't want to get near this thing. He's like, I don't even want to touch this thing. He had gloves
No, I
on and
don't.
stuff. It was crazy, but I
So,
was thinking about us because we were just talking about cane toads.
um, going off on a tangent about toads. Um, so do you know the actor Tim Robinson? Not Tim Robbins, Tim Robinson.
Um, no.
All right, he has a show on Netflix. It's called "I Think You Should Leave." It's like a
And,
sketch.
and by the way, real quick before I forget, the toad story we read was in Tampa, Florida, is where
Taos,
where
Florida. Okay, not
yeah,
Texas.
but the cane toad invasion is coming.
But staying in the same family as toads. So Tim Robinson made this new movie with Paul Rudd called Friendship.
Mhm.
Have you seen
I
seen
love
any
Paul Rudd.
ads for this?
I have not.
Okay, first of all, it's a horrible movie. I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. Like it's
Really?
an hour
Oh,
and a half.
and you like movies like that.
Yeah, it was supposed to, it's an hour and a half. It's supposed to be a dark comedy. I mean, I just didn't get it. It had two funny scenes. One of them involves a toad, and that scene is pretty funny. I have to give it that. But it was one of the psychogenic, hallucinatory
Mhm.
toads.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I didn't know if you had seen the movie or not, but
It's called
yeah,
Friendship.
it's called
What is
Friendship.
it? One of
Yeah,
these Netflix Hulu things or something?
no, it's a major
Is it?
release.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, wait till it streams. Don't waste your money.
I'm still scratching my head. I was watching the NHL playoffs last night, and they were the first commercial. You watch the beginning of these major uh, sports shows and stuff because they usually run pretty good commercials. They had the trailer on for Happy Gilmore 2.
I'm interested.
I
I'm
was like,
interested in that.
I mean, the first one was so bad, it was good. I mean, it was so. I mean, I go back and watch it now, and it's hilarious. But it was really when I remember leaving the movie theater thinking I just got ripped off because that
It's
was
so
the dumbest. It was
quotable.
it was the it really is, and the Bob Barker scene is worth it right there. But it was so stupid. And I mean, obviously, it's not politically correct in so many different ways, which makes it even funnier. But yeah, I didn't even realize they were making a Happy Gilmore too, and it's only on Netflix. You can only get it on Netflix, which I don't know what that means. Sometime in July, but that should be pretty interesting. So
That's Silly Sandler. That's my favorite. I love Silly Sandler.
yeah, you know what? I get him, but he yeah, I mean the whole Jewish song, the whole thing. His type of humor is just dumb to me. I mean, I get it, but I don't. I mean, I can see where people think he's hilarious, and his movies do really well. They crop. You know exactly how many Adam Sandler fans are because the first weekend it'll do $40 million and it does zero the second weekend. I mean, everyone goes out and watches it, and then like, okay, I saw it, they're done. They go out and see their Adam Sandler movie and they're finished. So yeah, but anyway. All right. Anything interesting going on at the house? I don't have a lot going on today. We'll get some emails going here. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. Brought to you by the way, Sasquatch Toys and Comics. They do wonderful work. Seth Cosby, who owns the joint, I went and saw his store. I think I mentioned this last week. It's unbelievable. It's on Citation Lane. I can't even put it in context of another store I've seen that even resembles what this place is. Just go there. If you're into comics, you're going to love it. It's got over 300,000 comics, collectibles. It's unbelievable. Sasquatch Toys and Comics. Check it out. It's on Citation Lane in Homewood. What's going on in your office? What's happening?
Well, we see in dogs a lot of heart disease. It's pretty common in smaller breed dogs and large breed. But recently we saw a dog that was about 60 or 70 pounds and had kind of an abnormal heart sound. And so we did an ultrasound of the heart, and we did an EKG, and all this stuff's done on people too, obviously. And the dog has a slightly enlarged heart. And on the EKG, the beats are sporadic. I mean, they're regularly irregular, I should say. And so what this dog has is early dilated cardiomyopathy. And the interesting thing about that disease is that it is it's not exclusively limited to Dobermans, but Dobermans are like the poster child for this. And this dog does have some Doberman in it. So it's kind of, interesting that it falls into the classical presentation.
Okay. What specifically, hold on, what specifically is it about a Doberman that makes this react the way it does?
I have no idea. It's just in their
Really?
DNA. When I was in vet school, I studied, when your first semester, you take a genetics class, and your first test is like within the first month of the class.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make an A on that test, you can opt out of the class, but you have to write a paper. So the reason I tell you that is because I was able to opt out of the class, and I wrote a paper. And a few years before I got into vet school, my grandfather died of Parkinson's disease. And so that interested me. You have to like ask the professor of the class if there's is there a link to genetics in this? Like, can I write about this? And then, he says, sure. So, and this was oh my gosh, it's almost 20 years ago now from first year of vet school. And I don't remember all the ins and outs of it, but there's a family in Italy that they did an insane like Parkinson's disease study on.
Mm-hmm.
And all of so many people in this family had a genetic, for lack of a better word, mutation that they could map. And all of them had the exact same type of Parkinson's disease.
Wow.
So, I'm answering your question by saying that sometimes it's just in the DNA.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that you were exposed to.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that you needed that you didn't get exposed to. It's just there. And that's how it is in Dobermans. It's just there. Now, obviously other breeds can get it. Boxers are also a breed that gets it a lot. But when you look up the parameters for dilated cardiomyopathy, all of the classic measurements were made on Dobermans because that's who gets it. But it's a disease where the wall of the heart muscles get very, very thin, and the chambers of the heart get very, very large. And so that leads to disrupting electrical activity through the heart as it beats. So they get arrhythmias, and it also causes a lot of blood to not flow efficiently where it needs to be.
Wow. And so what does that cause this animal to do? It takes its life, or
eventually, yeah. Unless it dies of something else.
Wow. That's horrible. And how often is this happening? Is this 1 out of 15? Is this one?
No, it's not. It's not 1 out of 15. I mean, I can't tell you the percentage of Doberman that get it. I mean, I haven't seen a case of it in several years. But when there's a Doberman, you got to have your ear to the ground.
That's kind of crazy. Let's do some emails. info@tonycurryradio.net, info@tonycurryradio.net. Eve in Birmingham, she said she read a story that 80% of all cats over 3 years of age suffer from some type of dental issue. And that's the one thing I wanted to get into today. We talk about dog teeth all the time. We never talk about cat teeth. We never talk about, we don't talk a lot about cats because we don't have, obviously, as many people own cats as dogs, but we love taking cat questions. We've done cat shows. We've done entire shows on cats. So if you got cats, we'd love to hear about it. I Happy Jumpy Cat still hadn't seen the thing in about 6 years. I know it's out there somewhere. Hopefully someone's taking care of it. But yeah, 80% of all cats over the age of 3 have dental issues. Is that true? Why is that true? And then let's talk about the dental aspects of kitty cats.
It is true. I would say that it's not a hard and fast rule, but I mean I think the 80% at 3 years of age is pretty reliable.
Okay.
And so I think the reason that you see that is because these these animals were meant to, you know, I'm not talking about house cats. Like, we've domesticated these animals, but so let's kind of change gears for a minute. Like bobcats. Okay,
Mhm.
these cats that are wild cats. I mean, they're still eating. They're still killing prey.
Yeah.
They're killing birds. They're killing smaller mammals. They're killing rodents, and so they're ripping and they're tearing these animals apart for food.
Mhm.
And so when you do that, it's not near as good as actually brushing your teeth, but it's almost like a natural way of keeping your teeth somewhat clean.
Yeah.
And domesticated animals, dogs and cats, they don't do that anymore. We
Yeah.
don't go out and catch birds to feed to our cats.
No,
We
no,
just don't.
if anything, it's gotten softer too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they eat cat food.
Mhm.
And so that type of food, they don't have to have the shearing forces that kind of brush up against their teeth and their gums. And so that just leads to tartar buildup. So that's why.
Yeah. Can we brush our cat's teeth?
You might be able to do it once, and you might have to go to the hospital for it, but
Well, you
you could
do
try.
dogs. Well, I mean, if they have, why don't you? If they have dental issues, why wouldn't we do our cat's teeth?
I mean, you can't. We do dental cleanings here on dogs and cats, but to
Okay.
try to brush I mean, almost dogs are almost impossible to brush their teeth too.
Yeah, well,
I
you have to
mean,
put them under, right, when you do their teeth.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
I
But
guess my question is, why aren't you doing the cats then? Or just
we
people
are.
still? Oh,
We
okay.
are. When you say brush teeth, I thought you meant like at home, like at home, people
No,
brushing their
no,
cat's
yeah,
teeth.
yeah, yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you could, yeah, you could try that too. But so you do actually do cats
Oh yeah, we do
dentals,
the same thing in cats as we do dogs. Yeah, dental
yeah.
cleanings here in the office. They're anesthetized. Yeah.
And when you do, you're not a dentist, so I'm assuming that you probably can't see cavities, or can you see cavities when dog and cat teeth? Can you tell what a cavity looks like?
Sure. So dogs and cats, all of their teeth are like mountaintops. They're all like mountains. So they don't
Hmm.
really get cavities
Yeah.
because their teeth are all pointy.
Hmm.
But what they do is they break their teeth, and then that can open up the pulp cavity. And so when that kind of thing happens, it's not really a cavity. I guess it's like a very, very serious cavity. Like when a person needs a root canal,
Hmm.
that's what the dog or cat needs when they fracture that sharp edge of the tooth off and the pulp canal is exposed. They need a root
Yep.
canal,
Yep.
or they need to have the tooth extracted. And that's what most people elect, because doing root canals is expensive. I mean, a general person like me doesn't do root canals. We do extractions, but we don't do root canals. And
Yep.
so most people like to have those extracted, but they don't. Dogs and cats don't really get cavities.
Yeah. If dogs could talk, what is the one thing that hurts them the most that they'd want us to know that they can't tell us? That's the one thing, because anyone's had a toothache knows it sucks. I mean, it just sucks. I mean, you need someone right now when you have a toothache. It feels like your whole head's going to blow up, and it could be the smallest thing on the left side of your mouth, and your whole body hurts. And I can only imagine what it's like for a dog that needs a root canal. I mean, he can't talk to you. All you can do is tell he doesn't want to eat on that side, or he's not eating his food anymore, and he's puking his brains out, and da 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 da. I can just imagine what kind of pain. But what kind of pain? Would it be arthritis? Would it be their backs? Is it their paws? What would it be that a dog suffers most from that we never know about?
I think it's when the Sarah McLachlan ASPCA commercial comes on. I don't.
Show anything in slow motion, you will buy it. I'm just
Uh,
telling you.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like dogs are either, not painful or painful. I think there's very like just don't. It's almost like they go 0 to 100. You
Yeah.
know, um, I'm sure that there's a lot of dogs that have undiagnosed abdominal tumors that probably hurt. Probably causing vomiting. But I mean, any disease that you can think of probably goes undiagnosed for much longer than it would in a person, because they can't tell us about the early stages. If they're anemic, they're super tired. Well, they can't really tell us. We can see the dog sleeping more, but they're weak. They don't feel good. So yeah, I mean, I don't know that there is an answer to that question, like what hurts them the most. Because there's a lot of things.
Yeah. All right. Kind of a shorter show today because we're back to back. If you listen to TKR, from like 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night, we do shows every single hour on the hour. And today's one of those shows where we're getting after it. Emails, info@TonyCurryRadio.net. Darkside the Pooch, brought to you by Sasquatch Toys and Comics. They do have an unbelievable store. I'm not into comics, but man, the toys and stuff they have in there is just, I could spend a week in that place and not see the same thing twice. It's amazing. It's on Citation Lane, Sasquatch Toys and Comics. Check it out and be looking on ABC 3340 from my good friend Dr. Rab Stewart, coming to a TV and a radio and a great internet radio station near you. Thank you, my friend.
September 13th and 14th. Fish's return to Birmingham, to the new amphitheater downtown.
Tell me, what are you going to both shows, first of all?
Oh, yeah.
And which one do you want me to go to?
There's an old saying in the jam band community: never miss a Sunday show.
Okay. So you're inviting me to the Sunday show? I don't want to be I don't want to be a fifth wheel. I'll pay my own way. Whatever you get, just tell me what I got to do to make sure I'm there.
You just got to be there. And I will put this out into the open, that if there's anybody listening that has a box at the new amphitheater and they have no interest in seeing this band on the 13th or the 14th, I will gladly pay whatever the going rate is for that box.
Yeah. Have you seen what they're asking for those boxes down there, by the way? I got a friend of mine. I think I may be wrong here, but Oak Mountain Amphitheater was, I think, $40,000 a year. That's for all shows, but I think they're asking $240,000 for all the shows this year. Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. All right, you're starting to glitch. I'm going to let you go. Love you, my friend. Thank you very much.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Curry Radio.